Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Can you all hear me?
Samuel, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, I'm clear. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, please, we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Is anyone? Wait. Let me get. Are they allowed to respond via voice or chat?
Hi.
Just chat.
Yes, they are. They are allowed to respond either voice, by unmuting their mics or maybe dropping the chat. Dropping their responses in the chat box.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Samuel.
Okay. Hi. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. So let me just start. Let's start the pro class. Just a minute. Okay, my name is Samuel. Okay, my name is Samuel Obadina. I'm a UX designer, and currently I work for Wakana, where I work on helping out in the experience for making users, travelers move from one point to the other, and having seamless flow in their travel. So that's what I do, and I work on a couple of projects that most likely some of you may have seen as thereabout. So I'll go details into that maybe later in the class, but let's just get started in the class. So I'll be taking this class and we're going to be talking about design system. So over the years I've worked, I like working on a system where it's easier for me to always replicate, and not just replicate, to also be able to make changes in a very short time. And you know how that can be in design when maybe a client just want to change and you want to be able to just be able to modify, go to a control panel, just make some key move and everything is changing. And that's why I like working with designs, systems and all. So I don't know if, let me see. I don't just get a brief of just to understand the people I'm talking with. Can you just everyone drop maybe your name and what you do, maybe you're a designer or animator. Can you just drop that on the chat? I'll read that. So I just want to have an understanding of the audience I'm talking with. Can we just do that briefly? So more like an introduction, because I know if I'm to say we should do the introduction verbally, that may take a little while. Hello, can everyone hear me? Hello.
Yes, Samuel, we can hear you.
Okay, is the chat going on? I'm not seeing any response in the chat yet. Hello. So I say, can you just drop your names? If you're here, just drop your name. Let me just see a response that I'm talking to people. I can't get any response there. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi,
Yeah,
everyone. Is the sun
Okay.
too hot? You are not responding.
Okay.
What's happening now?
Okay, Daniel Architect. Okay. I know. Okay. Peace is here. Okay, Peace, what do you do? Okay. Dejojo. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, UX. Okay. That's Peace. Okay, what else is in the chat I need to know about? Okay, Toluwashe UI UX. Okay, great. Okay, is there someone else there? Joy UI UX. Okay, great. A whole lot of UI UX people here. Amazing. Web developer still learning. Great. Kenneth UI UX. Anu UI UX. Okay. Okay, is there someone else I'm waiting for? Okay, I think I have an overview of the people I'm talking to, more of UI UX design. Okay, with this architect and all. Okay, I'm sure at the point in time, most of you have had the word atomic design. You've had some of you have to work with atomic design and systems, design system. I think now it's more like a buzzword, maybe within our field. So I'll just be talking basically about atoms. Okay, hello, UIX. Okay, so I'm talking more about atomic design. And if you understand, I started as a science student, but so you understand if you have a basics of chemistry, you know about the atoms and molecules and stuff like that. I think those are one of the building blocks of the things we did in chemistry. So they're more like the structures that hold everything you see, both solid, gas, and stuff like that. So that's what holds the structure. And atoms are the basic unit of matter and the defining structure of elements. So if you say that, it means that you can also say in atomic design, you can say atomic design as the basic unit of a web page. It forms the basis, like the basis of the structure of the site. So so now we'll talk a bit about systems. So systems a set of things working together as part of a mechanism or an interconnected network, a complex whole. So this just means that when we're talking about design system, we're talking about a whole lot of things working together. And I'm sure quite a number of you with UI, UX experience, most likely you have design experiences too, if I'm right, design experiences. And when I talk about design experience, I'm sure a couple of you understand the part of elements and principle of design. And that's a bit close here, because when you talk about elements of design, you're talking about the basic and the building blocks of design. So when you say design, you can tell that everything in the design are elements. More like in a web page, so everything you see in a web page, they're builders of atoms and stuff like that that make them up. So let's just go a bit into the whole thing. So systems are more like principle in design. And if you can remember, can someone remind me the principle of design? Let me just refresh your memory a bit about that. Can someone just take me through principle of design? Any principle of design you can remember? Any principle of design you can remember there? Any response? Principle of design? Hello, principle of design. Space proximity, okay. Preset space proximity. Someone else? Balance. Oh, is the only piece in the class? Balance, okay. Okay, contrast, very good. So those things are more like the thing that creates the structure, repetition, alignment, very good. So those things are more like what creates what helps our designs, our elements to be structured in a given space or so. So they're more like the things that puts all our design in place. So they have that kind of relationship when you talk about systems and you talk about principles and stuff like that. So we're talking about some key things, which is adopting. We're talking about how you can adopting. These are going to be the three key things I'm going to be taking you through, and this class is going to be really practical. So for now, I'm just going to take you through just very basics and the foundation of it. I'm sure Aluko will have done justice to this at point in time. So where he has taken you through the theoretical part of this. So I'll be fully going practical, and because I want by the end of this class, I really wish this was as I told I really wish this was a hand-on class, because I like to see what everybody is doing. I know I wish I could see everybody's screen so that as I'm showing things, I want to see you get it, because by the end of this class, I want to be sure you can start using your design system very well. You can build a design system. You can adopt a design system. You can start building design system. You can even plan design system, because now these are three different things. So when you talk about adopting a design system, we have quite a number of design systems and that have been built by organizations and companies. We have the one for Google. We have material designs by Google. We have the one for Adobe. We have the one for Apple. We have the one for Microsoft. So all these design systems, they've been built to create a structure, right? Because these people are working with a lot of platforms, a lot of users, a lot of engineers. So you want a system that connects them, because it's complex to create web pages that are consistent across board. So you need a structure that holds all of them together. Because now we'll do. I'm still looking at the best way to make see how interactive this can be, because I really want to see what everyone is doing with the exercises I'm going to be giving. But I'll just give those exercises. I'll see how I can get through to everyone to see what you guys are doing at the end of this class. So as part of adopting, so what you're doing is that you're taking already made design system, you're taking it up and also taking and modifying to fit what you need. Sometimes you don't need to, now with the times of we're having more of communities now, so we can always build on community, build on what communities have done, adopt design systems that we can always build on and create for our own organizations or for a project. So so we also talk about building. So at times you need to just build from scratch, maybe because of the things you're looking at. And when you're building, it requires a whole lot of you planning. So at that point, you're planning how do you want to go about building this design system. So it's a couple of things. How do you run with your masters, your parent structure, your child element? So all those things, I'm going to go practical about them. So just run me through about how I'm going to go about it. So we're starting first with adopting. How do you adopt design style? How do you build? And lastly, how do you plan? So for planning, sometimes some websites already be designed a lot of pages, and you don't have a design system. So you need to plan, and planning requires you putting together everything that you've done before, seeing consistency, seeing things that relate to each other, and do a whole lot of sorting, a lot of things we're going to talk about when we get to that part. So back to the atomic design, it's as you have all known before now, most likely you all have known, it's about atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, and pages. So that's like the things that are composed of the atomic design. And atomic design is something that's come to stay for a while, which it helps us put a whole lot of structure to web pages, because we have quite a number of things that we need to all tie together. So this helps us in that kind of structure. And I'm sure you're familiar with this, this that shows that relationship, visual relationship between them. That's from the atom to the molecules to organisms. So let me just share. Let me share a bit of practical things that how this thing works. Okay, so are you all following? So can I get verbal responses now? Are you all following? Because I'm moving on to another phase from here. Can I get responses? Maybe you can unmute your mic.
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. So are you getting along with the class? Okay. So this is like the foundation of the things that you already know. So now I'll be picking up, going to we're going to be using a tool which is familiar with everyone. At a point in time, I share that design system and all is not just about the tools and anything. It's something that works across the board. Even before the advent of Figma and most prototyping tools, even softwares like AI, Adobe, Illustrator, even CorelDRAW. If any of you have a good knowledge of CorelDRAW, even CorelDRAW has a way where you can build systems. And because I know those things, I explored those things those time during the days of designing. And just for the information, I've been in design for about, I think I'm designing for about 8-10 years now. We have moved from graphic design. I'm moving to branding, I've done a bit of motion, done a bit of illustration, a couple of things combined together. So I can tell that building systems, I've built systems in different places. Because now when you get the fact that you're going to be working, especially when you're collaborating, that's something very clear about design system, because you're going to be collaborating with a couple of, you're going to be collaborating with a couple of people. So you want to keep your designs, you want to keep your design consistent across board. And that is very, 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 very important, because now I did a test at a point in time where I gave a couple of people just an assignment to do. I wish I can do that here, but there's no way I can get feedback in real time with what you guys are doing. So if I'm to even test that here, give people, just do a screen, a mobile screen, and this and this and this, get this and this done. And everybody goes and do it. If I have about 100 people, most likely when you guys are coming back, I will have most likely about 100 different type of design, different people with their different decisions and styles and complexity and all. So by the time you're coming back, you're having about 100 different type of designs. But when you have a design system, you have a structure that's already built, and you give everybody that structure. Everyone, I want you to follow this this structure, and I want you to build this. Most likely, everyone will come with different layouts and different stuff, but what will be consistent across board is that people are going to use most likely the same element. It depends on at which level you're giving them to. If I give people a set of atoms that have a divine visual style, most likely I'll see people do a lot of things. But by the time I get from atoms to molecules to organisms to create templates, you see people almost doing the same thing across board. So, and that's something that is very important about atomic design, and we working with design systems. Okay, let me see if I can change my screen now so that everyone. Okay, so let me see if I can use change this one. Sorry, so I need to change my screen so that you can see the next thing I'm showing. Okay, that's so let's get into Figma. So I mean, most likely just pause a while and expect that you all can just get a bit of what I'm doing by practicing yourself. And if there's any question you ask me, then we'll move on and back and forth like that. Because I want to see how possible everyone can get what I'm doing. Just a minute. So I think. So I need to share a different screen now. I want to show I'm sharing the right screen. Okay. Okay, yeah. So can you all see my screen? Can you see the changes I'm making now? Okay. So can you all see my Figma screen? Response, please. Can you see my Figma, the screen I have here? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, now this a project I worked on, yeah, an MMORPG games, that's role-playing games, multiplayers role-playing game. So I designed a system for the client, which was to, because they had a lot of screens, about 100 plus or 200, about 100 screens and thereabout. So my role was to come in, update the UI, because they had a dated UI. So I was to come, update the UI, and also create a system where they can follow. So in creating the system, there are quite a number of things I put in place, which I'm going to show, and you see how I use the structure of the atomic design to build every page. So coming from here now, you see this part, how this part narrows. For me, this like the molecule down to this part. You can have the atoms are everything here that cannot be divided. It's like this icon and lines and everything put together as molecule. They all come from here to create an organism where things are more put together here. And from there, I move on to creating more like a template that everything is all put together. From there, templates are set of more structured structured organism put together. Then from there, you see a more defined template, and from there you have the page. So these are also a whole lot of different set of organisms put together from different pages. So you have the top level bar, you have the icons, the elements, the sidebar. So these are different of those structures coming together to form a whole page. So having this kind of page and wanting to have that page consistent. Now this is one page, this is another page. You see that you see that similarity and that consistency across the page. Why? Because there's a system holding them together. So now, how do you build this kind of system? That's what I'm going to come here to explain. How do you build a system like this? So yeah, the same structure. You see the different atoms coming together. You see the buttons. You see icons. You see different bar and stuff like that. So all of them here are fusing together into all these. And let me see if I can open the page so that, just a minute. Let me see if I can open the page. Sorry. See if I can open that game structure. Okay. Okay, this I think this one, it's another example which I'll be using, which cuts across what I'm going to. This is also another game, but just a fun project. So in this now, you see how things are set here. You see the buttons, you see the icon. This is basic, so I will be starting from there. Then from here I'll show an example from scratch. I'll build a page from starting with the structure I have in place. So now you see the button, you see icons, and you see all this coming together to form the molecular alveoli, which is first the card structure. So in this card structure, you see the same thing which is there, the card, the icons, and all the structure are built here, all coming here to form the page. Now, when you see, just a minute. So when you see this, if I want to make any change now to the button, I don't have to go to each of these, because that's something very key. You don't have to go to this and start making those changes one by one. It can be daunting. If you get what if you design Vero, you know what I'm talking about. It can be daunting having to make all those changes one. And just imagine now you don't have one page, you don't have 2 pages, you have about 500-600 pages, just like the first example I gave you. It's a page of about 100. And you don't want to start making changes one by one. It can be very daunting. So when you have structures like this, it's easier for you to go make a little change and everything happens. So let me let's see this. So maybe this green, I want to make it a bit of I want to make it yellow. See what happens immediately. I change. Okay, now I think I'm even changing from the wrong place. If I start from my atom, because everything all connects together. When you make a change to the atom, it should update across board. So let's change the button to this from the atom level. So when I change this button, what do you notice? Everything all changes. Straight up, everything changes. Okay, that has been changed. You see, this has affected all this. Look at this icon. Maybe this icon here, you see it here, the football playing. Maybe I'm going to change this color. By the time I come and I make any change to this, let's just change to blue. So you see what happened? Everywhere you have the icon changes, you see blue there. You have the icon. Okay, I don't have the icon somewhere else. Okay, you see it here. Everywhere change. So that's one. So now from this level, this one trickles down to this part, which is controlling the cards and all. From there, you now see another level of this card, which when I make any change to this, let's look at this part, which is this card here. Let me just make a change to this card and you see what happens there. Let's turn this to just a minute. So let's make a change to this card. I want to make it, let's see if I can, just want to make a change that's going to affect the component. Just a minute. Okay, I think there's something old in this card. Okay, now when I go back, I can figure out, yeah, okay, this is what is holding all these cards. So if I make a change to this now, so what happens? You can see that change happening everywhere. You can see that change happening everywhere. I can come here and say, okay, I want to maybe have this at the other side of my page. And so, sorry, let me see. So I want to have this a bit bigger. So immediately I do that, what happens? You see everything responds to that change. So that's, but now getting to this point, there's part of planning and knowing what you want to achieve. So the question is, how do you get to this point where you can see I have all my components in control? So there's a form of structure that is necessary used, which we're going through that structure. It helps you tell how should I organize this. So as I said, I'm going to use Figma as an example, and this is almost an example that cuts across any software you want to also use. So let me get back to this presentation. Let me come back to this presentation, and there's something I want to show there. So yeah, so here you see the atoms, the molecules, the organism template pages. So everything that changes at the atom level moves on to the molecule level, moves on to the organism template and stuff like that. So this is an example here. So this is an example in motion, where from atom, okay, not this yet. Sorry. Okay, so from atom, watch this, moves to molecule. You see, moves to organism, moves to template, then you have your pages. So that's one rule they see there, from atoms to molecules. So atom comes together to molecules to organism, template, and pages. So before we go, I'll just let me have, this is just a brief quiz that I always put up when I'm taking someone through this structure. So let's talk about a car. I don't know if you know about the process of making a car, but before you make cars, differently, just a model of car, we're talking about a model of car, a brand. Let me ask a question. What do you think happens before you can make several cars, different cars? What do you think? What do you think it starts from? Does it start from first making a car or making the components of the car? I don't know if you get the question. Now you have is a company that wants to make cars. So do you think now, if you look at a car, there's a whole lot of components attached to this car, right? A whole lot of components. You have the mirror, you have the side glasses, you have a whole lot of structure that comes into this car. So the question is, do you make the components first? That's the mirrors, the glasses, and everything. Then start coupling them together. So what do you think is made first in a car? Is it the car is made first? The whole car is made first, then is splitted into components, or the components are made first and fused into the car? I don't know if you get my question. Can anyone just unmute and answer that question? Can someone just unmute and answer that question? Hello?
I think the components are made first.
Okay, the components are made first. Okay, why do you say so? Reasons?
Because it makes more sense to start from the smaller
units.
Okay.
And expand to the larger than.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if you're to make now this I'm going to relate this back to a page. Okay, I get that. I say you're going to make the component first, then all those things are put together to make the car. Okay, can someone else with a different opinion? Hello, someone else?
A car system is too complex to exist as one item, so you need to break it down into the smallest parts as possible so that you can bring them together.
So can you come over that then, Daniel?
I was saying that a car is too complex for it to exist as one item, as one like just one fixed item. So it's best to break it down into different components, into smaller systems, then you can put them together.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the component systems are made first before you make the cars, right?
Yeah, I believe you make a plan first, you draw your blueprints, and from there you derive your components, then you can put them together.
Okay, so come again. I didn't get that.
Okay, I said I believe you have your blueprints. Cars too have their blueprints.
Yeah, exactly.
Then from their blueprints, you can derive the components that you need to put it together as a whole.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. Anyone with a different opinion? Very good, Daniel. Anyone with a different opinion? Anyone? Any other person? Any other person with a different opinion? Okay. Okay, so just as Daniel said, and I'll build on that, which is before cars are made, when you go through the process of making cars, I've watched a couple of videos and I just enjoy the process. You see a whole lot of processes before you even get to the car part, the part of making the car. You see them first. The car is made. More like but not in the final stage. But you see first the model of the car is made to define what are the structures we need, what are the components we need to put this car together. Because now, if you start from a part of the component system, just building the component already, imagine getting to trying to put the door of the car, and is not fitting into that structure. You can imagine if you have gone through the production line of making a whole lot of those doors and they are not fitting together. So most likely, what is going to happen is going to have first the car built. It can be in prototype level, any level, built in such a way that you can start figuring out what are the components of this car. So when this car is built, you can tell, okay, yeah, we need the glasses. So what is the dimension of these glasses? Okay, now we are sure that this dimension is going to work. So you have to be sure that this dimension is going to work. We are sure this glasses, the mirror is going to work. We are sure this tire is going to be the exact size we need. Then we can start replicating that. But if you start from the component system of making the tires already, everything is already made, and you're trying to couple it together, the engine is not fitting into the bonnet, to the structure you imagine it's going to be. The side mirrors are not fitting in. They're looking larger than what is expected. So you just know I've made a mess. So I see some people starting their old design system from the design system or from creating the old components already. Because what happens at that time is that you have just created a whole of items or components that most likely you may not even need. Or you get to your design phase and you have to start trying to readjust. You readjust. It feels like some things I see in the apprenticeships where you see them, maybe the carpenters, you see them carry a door that they never measure the frame. and they get to the place where they want to fit it, and you see it's not getting, and you see them chiseling, cutting, slicing, and all. But for more professional people I've seen work, you see what they do is get the exact frame they want, and they know what they're coming to do. Just like as an architect too, before in the process of building, they have figured out all the old dimension. The house structure is in the plan. So in the plan, you're working with almost like a real life dimensions. You know that you're knowing that when you're going straight here to put all these things together, all coupled together. But you can't be sure these things are not going to stay together and you start making them. So that's more like the whole attempt. So when you're done with that making first a model, a perfect model, and assure that this is what we want. This is exactly the kind of visuals we want, this kind of template we want. Then you can say, okay, now we've done this, let's break all this down into units that we can replicate and create more and more cars out of this. But you don't want to start the other way around, because when you start the other way around, you have to start modifying and modifying. Just imagine if you have to modify in maybe in about 10 pages. Now think of 50 pages, now think of 100 pages. So you see that you're going to be spending a lot of energy. So that's why building from first and getting down to those things, those smaller bits makes more sense. So let's just get back to how we're going to be talking about the planning stage, the building stage, and the adopting stage. So now I'm going to do more a practical sense of all these things. So I'm moving to the softwares that let's move to Figma and work with a blank page and see how we can start off from there. Let me share my screen. Okay. So can you see my screen? Can you see my Figma page open? Okay. Okay, yes, okay. Okay, so let's start let's start from a blank canvas now and build up a basic system from this, just a basic system. So we want to create not something that bogus, but we want to start with creating just a basic template that can, now there's something about design system that helps, which is creating a bit of flexibility from mobile, because now we're working with a whole lot of screens. So we want to figure out responsiveness and a whole lot of things. And that's the part of planning what you want to do. So you want to plan first, where do I need these items? So let me start with this. So in part of plan, you want to know where are the devices you're going to make this. So for this class, let's stick to just mobile. Let's stick to mobile and desktop. For this mobile and desktop. So stick to mobile and desktop for the devices. And so now we're looking at what are the things we need. So just like the example I gave in the car, it's necessary we start from the planning stage, not just planning stage, wireframe. So when you start from the wireframe, especially for building system, when you start from the wireframe, it helps you know what are the things you need. What are the things that you need to build from low fidelity stage to high fidelity, to the mid fidelity to high, and different. You can have a lot of fidelity in between till you get what you want. So this part you want to tell, okay, for the mobile phase, these are the things. So let's just create a one screen page now and talk about how to build. So from this class now, we're going to build a system for this mobile and desktop screen, and we'll see how we're going to work around it. So let me just start by bringing first a page. Let me just make this my mobile screen. Okay, large there. So please, if you have any question along the class, let me know. So it's always good to start from a low fidelity to have an understanding of what you want to build. So now for this class, let me start from the page. Let's just build a basic landing page, for a blog site. So I think that has a bit of basic components that you can draw inference from. So let's just make that. Let's just do a basic landing page for an article page. So now I want to have my header. Just want to have my header page running. So now, as I'm saying, I'm building all these things just very in low fidelity. So we're going to start there. I'm going to do a couple of things where I will just be pointing out those things I'm doing. I'm sure. Okay, I'm still in time. So now I'm changing from field to outline with just Shift X to make that quite easy. So now in low fidelity part, you're not concerned about colors, you're not concerned about a whole lot of things, you're just focusing on layout and structure. So yeah, I'm going to have my I'm going to have the header, and so I have then I have just so I'm going to have a picture frame that holds maybe the picture of the article I'm going to be using. So I'm having two frames here. So I'm having two frames here. So that's so picture frame. I just want to have like the title, the major title here. So still working on just the fidelity, major title here, and to have followed by that, and to have the paragraph. So I'm looking at the paragraph structure here. So sometimes your starting may be in sketches, in a paper sketch, and thereabout, but you determine which one works best for you. So I like starting most of my projects with paper sketch. So that gives me more freedom, so that I'm not restricted by software use or stuff like that. So okay, so now thinking of responsiveness, I'm thinking of how will I scale, what are the things I need here that I'll also need to scale to my desktop view. So I'm looking at that. Let me put that in view where I'm doing this. So let's see this desktop view, so which the headers are also similar. And then I want to just have that in place while I'm doing that. So please, any question along the way, let me know. So I'll just work with this. So the title, something very basic. So let's have this. So I'm gonna have side menus. I like to have side menus here. Just navigate through, and yeah, quite basic. So next post, just down here, just want to have something to tell me that next post. At the end of this, maybe a bit of comment. So I'm trying to see any suggestion, anything to add to this pager, any other suggestion. So let's see, yeah, I'm gonna have my comment section. I just want to have comment text and comment comment section and the footer. Okay, at this stage I need it. Is there any other thing I'm missing out from this page? Hello? Any other thing you feel like I should add? So looking at this now, this gives me a bit of low level structure to what I'm doing. So now I know that this a bit of what are the things I need to get this done, and this is the layout I'm looking at. So let me see. Okay, let me see this article. Hello. So are we on track? Any response, please? Are we on track? So you see, I'm starting from my low fidelity wireframe, just to get a view of the things I need before I start building up and all. And from this part, this also gives me an idea of what I need. Then I now start planning on in what ways do I need these things. So this is very basic, and I'll just be running from there. So let's in the header. So this has shown that I need an header, and my header, and I know I'm going to need the logo. So I'm going to need the I'm going to need the logo for that. I'm going to need so let me copy. So I'm going to need the logo. The name logo comprised of the signature, which is the logo and the name. Then most likely I have an hamburger here, which is going to trigger the menu. But in my own page here, I will need I can pull up. I don't need to have an hamburger there. Thinking of responsiveness, so I can just have this. Then have a menu section that contains everything I need. Then maybe subscribe button. Let me see if I need that. Okay, so I can have maybe a subscribe button. I think this works. Okay. So now this has given me a structure of the things I need. So I know what I want to start building for and in what ways I need them. So starting from the header, so now I know I need a logo, I need icons. So now what I do sometimes is to get a view of the things I need, which is first, I can start from the things I need. I'm talking about menu bar, the header, I need header, I need sorry, this is all down. Okay. I need menu, so I need buttons. Okay, first, okay, let's take them from the structure of how I've shown you in the atoms level and stuff like that, so that we know how this thing actually works. So let's start from let's just go to the atom levels, and we know the set of things we need at those levels. So let's just start from the atom, the molecule, the organisms. So we'll see how this thing actually works, and we get down to the template and the page. So now in the atom level now, what are things I'll need for this atom level? I'll need buttons, right? Hello, response. What do you think I'll need for this page? I need our responses. Hello. Am I seeing the chat? Is anyone there? Okay. Icons, okay. So icons. Okay.
Images.
Okay. So images. Okay. Hello. What else do you think I need for this screen I'm going to be doing?
Illustrations.
What do you say?
Illustrations.
Okay, let's say illustrations. Someone else, what again do you think I'll be needing? You can type it if you don't want to speak. What do you think I'll be needing for this screen over there? Okay, someone say text. Yeah, obviously I'll be needing a visual guide for that. So all this one comes under visual guide. The text, my color, and all those ones are things that need text, where you have our text, the color. So all this one comes under the visual guide. So this one we're just talking about the structure of the site itself. So because when you talk about atoms, molecules, organisms, they form the structure. So for visual guide, where we talk about things you apply on all these elements. So things we apply on these elements is a different thing. That's the visual guide. We'll get to that point. So what other things we need for our atomic pack? Hello, I'm listening. Okay, someone say cards. We'll get to cards when we get to cards, but cards does not fall under that. What else? Anyone? Hello, anyone?
The text field.
Okay, the text field. Okay. So can you all see my screen?
No, it's disappeared.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I think this. So, okay. So what again do we need there? Hello, anyone?
Do you need the color at this point?
Color? No, not at it. But this comes under visual guide. Okay, so we talked about buttons, we talked about the icons, we talked about the images, talk about illustrations, we talk about so someone said test feed comes under this atom, the little things we need. So this build up of things, so these atoms and part come together to form the molecules, and the molecules we're going to be having here are going to be the states of like the headers, the others, we have things that come together to form a set of things that work together. So we can have the header here, we can have the menu section, we can have the more like the card structure can come here, like the different, we can have different forms of card structure here. So let's talk about the card structure here. We can also talk about the comment section. The comment, when they all come together, you have, okay, here now remember something, we have forms here. So our forms button comes here, our forms comes here. So we're going to talk about that part to the forms. Sorry, I think I'm bringing something different. So that's just really, sorry. Okay, so comments. So under the comment, we have forms, because now when we talk about the comment section, we're talking about it's going to have the text field. We're going to have a form talking about different fields. We have text field. Under form, we have text field. We have radio button. We have drop downs and all those things. They come under our form part. So So let's start creating this, and I'll start showing you how those things come together. So now let's start from our buttons. Now it's always good to work in such a way that you, like now when we talk about buttons, you want to look at what state of buttons do you need for this project. So if you're going to work on the different states we have, which is the over state, the over state, talking about the over state, talking about the down state, the active, the inactive state. So those things forms the overall things we need for this button side. So coming to that, I'll show how best to work with that. So at the point in time, there's something we'll talk about components and we'll talk about variance. And components and variance are two things that I don't want you to mess up. And I'm going to show you how to create the structures for components and variance. So now, like starting things with frame, I have our text. Let's just call this button. I can call this one master button. So I don't know if you all have understanding of at least component system, because I'm going to be using a bit of, I'll get into component from here. So if you have a knowledge about component system, I've done some things around component system. But not to get you lost, just ask me if you need any help at any point in time. So now this is a frame now for my button. So I can choose a style for my button, which is just be a rounded edge. That's the rounded edge I want to use consistently. Let me just have this at 20, which is fine. But now this is becoming bigger than what I'm talking about. I need. So the main reason why we work with this thing. So this let me start from the top. Let's start from the top for now. So we have our header composed of we have our logo there and reading button. So let me pick up. I use Nucleo. So I have a version of Nucleo that has a lot of icons. I don't know if you can see my Nucleo, but let me just pick an hamburger. Okay, so yeah, I have my hamburger, which is going to be for the mobile section. So I need to get an icon set of like 20 px. So hamburger. Okay, it's not there. Okay, let's see this. Now, when this at this level, I'm still trying to put together all the things I need. I'm still trying to put together all the things I need for this. Okay, I have to encode this to this point. So the logo part, let me get to the logo. Let's just call it, let's say Bliss. Let's say Bliss. Let's just use a word mark for this. A basic word mark. Just give it. So let's say this is our logo. I just call this our logo. So I'm sure you know a bit about anchoring things. So I would like to anchor this so that things are a bit fair around. Okay, so now, as I said, we started with first our low fidelity frame, so which gives us an idea of what we need. So let me see. At this point, I still need to put a bit of more details to everything I have here. So let me do that because it's not still enough to build what I need to input. Let me get to a mid fidelity from here. Then move to a mid fidelity from here, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that because I still need a bit of really visuals to exactly what I need for my project here. So let me still put more things Yeah, then when I've gotten a good visual state of what I need, then I move on. So just add a bit of, okay, this is just image. So let's get a bit of what we need here. So this text, so let me just do a bit of Lorentz ipsum here. So we start figuring out how things should at least look. So text there, I have, okay. Let's just stage. Yeah, so let's just manage that text, nothing serious for now. Okay. Now, so for this one, I can't start writing. I don't have time to start writing anything. So let me just do a text frame and the rest is up. So let's just say it's 12. And so using that, my Lawrence. Okay. Sentence to generate. So this is my regular for now. Get this 12 and move this again. Or cap, no. Make this small letter. That's sentence case. Okay, so if it's what is happening now, I'm getting a bit of visuals of what I want. Starting from this little page is not enough to jump me to creating my details yet. So I move here, then I can create a bit of, let's see, this is our first frame, our first paragraph, second paragraph. Let me extend this paragraph a bit to generate. So I have that, and maybe then just put the last paragraph to things. So now in this state now, I can say, just like the way Medium is, I can say I want something for pull quote, a form of pull quote here. So let me just pull this up a bit. Let's give that 16 px and make it medium, and maybe create a structure for when there's any pull quotes. Maybe just we have let me see, Ctrl C, let me do V here. We have this accompanying exclamation mark that just shows that this is a pull quote. Okay, so now this, what I'm doing now is just to create that visual structure I need to start building all I need for this project. So things are taking a bit more shape now. You see, I've not talked about our grid yet. That's yeah, I've not started defining things fully. Yeah, we may have different way we walk around things, but this one that I feel works best when I have a good visuals of how I want my things to be. Okay, this one. Now I remember, let's just talk about the person who wrote this. So let's just put a avatar. We just have an avatar of the writer. So let's say the writer. Let me just generate. Okay. Let's see for the avatar. Let's bring up. Okay, so the avatar, let's give a name to this person. Let's give a random name to this person. First name, Kotsi. So good. So let's do this. And medium. Let's give this 14. So at the end of this class, I will be able to define everything here. So now I'm just putting everything up. But at the end of this class, I will put this structure in place, and when I'm done with this, anyone can pick this up and replicate and do something close to this, move it around and stuff like that. So from there, let me just write. So I want to write a bit about him. Just say something brief about him. So we have just a brief discussion about who this guy is. So 12, but put this guy to 12 or thereabouts. So regular. So theorems. So generate 5 sentence in the last one. And just do word or just do sentence. Let's have 2 sentences generate. Okay, so this works. So I just need to adjust I guess mine. Okay, now if you see, as getting this done is giving us a visual structure of how things are. Not absolutely, but at least better than what we started with from just this guy. So this guy just gave us structure. This is giving a bit of fidelity to this. So now I'll move on to the comment section. So comment section, what does it comprise of? It comprises of most likely. So now first I want to do comment section where you're able to comment and already commented section. There's something like that. So for that one, we have, let's just put, maybe this is a comment the person has made, and want to put, so let's also put an avatar. Or what do you think? Let's put an avatar. Let me just put an avatar, okay, and it should also have a name, but I want this to be not as a bit lower than this. And so okay, so times 150. So okay, so I think this like a comment, and after a comment, you want to have more like likes. Let's just say like. If is medium, we're talking about claps and all. Okay, so let's just say like and comment, maybe comment on that section. And reply, that should be reply. Okay, we have this, then we have a plain one where it's just open for anyone to reply. I want to have a sub to make your comment, make comment here. And a button that follows it that says post comment or post. I just say post. Okay, so I think this then we have this to work with. We have footer to work with. So let's just do something very basic there. Let's just say the social media undos. Let's just have that basically, maybe at this point. Okay, this gives a bit of structure to what we can already work with, and so other things like home, contact, and maybe other things. Let's just have text replace that, and let's just do a text replace that. So I think this works. I'll just give it a bit of 0 and what that is there. So okay, so this sorted out. We can start having something serious come up from this. Okay, so when this is done, now we spoke about visual style. So at this point in time, you're just working with this more like still having a fidelity. You've never introduced your visual styles. Visual Style will not introduce our font scale, type scale, and stuff like that. So I'll talk about that in a moment, so that so let me see this. So okay, I think we have something a bit to work with here. Yeah, I didn't put the layout grid. Let me just work with the layout grid that is already created. I'm sure quite a number of you have understanding of the layout grid. So I'll pull up the layout grid just to guide how things should go. Yeah. Okay. So this should talk inside this a bit, and so I'm going to hide this with my I think that's option Z. That's option Z. I think okay, option G. Control G. Sorry. So let's put up the Unsplash stuff here. Okay, someone says an architect here, so let's just pick up just a random. Oh, we said COVID, sorry. So let's just COVID. If there's any picture we can have of that. So okay. Let's say this works. What's guy looking like in KBHD? Okay. Now here's a run through. So let's just put a bit of visual elements here just to push this up. Let's just say avatar. Yeah, okay, nice. So let's run an automated avatar there. Okay, now this way becomes interesting when we know that we may have about 1,000 screens of this kind of thing, and we want to hold every of those things together. So this is where I like working. This is something I like doing, which is creating that structure that binds everything all together. So let's get to that point where we put up that. So just a minute, I need to change this visual stuff I have here. Okay, let's just make this dark so that it gives a bit of contrast to what we're doing. Okay, I think I have to use another way to do that, so I don't have to stroke. Just change my stroke to red, so I can target these guys differently. Target them to white, these guys to white, so I can target my red to black. Okay, then I can shift. Okay, sorry, I've not wasted a lot of time doing this, but I think this is going to help. Now, so if you're going to push that to our desktop, that will not take much time than this, just to take straight. But let me hold this while I just talk about how we're going to pull this up into structures that we can now start reusing. So let me see if I'm fine with this. Okay, now when you click on this, what's going to drop down? Don't let me go into that details yet, but so let's start putting this together. Now this is clear. Now what we need for this, we need our header, we need a frame to hold that. We need a frame, the size of the frame, the dimension, everything. So we need this structure together. So now it's based on your planning to know that, okay, these are the things I need together. These are the things I need to flow together. These are, okay, now we need this quote. There are more layouts you can have, but if you're going to work with this layout, these are the things we're sure we're going to need. Let me put a line here. So for me, planning this, I would just simply know that this header, I need to put them together. So I can take this one out for now and see. In fact, I'll probably get to the point that I know I'm going to be creating more than one page or something. I want to start creating my systems and everything and pulling them aside so I can work with. So now, yeah, I know this one has an icon. So I know that I need an icon system, right? This one has a logo, and this one has this frame that binds everything together. So let me pull out my icon. So I can have a set of icon system. let me just create a frame for that. So you see how everything runs now. So let's say these are my icon system. So I can have a couple of icons I'm going to use for this project right here. A couple of icons. Let me bring a bit of those icons from Nucleo that I use. Maybe icons I'm going to use. Let me say share. I'm going to need the share icon, right? Please, can you tell what else do you think? What icon do you think I need to? I want this to be filled. So can you see the Nucleo I'm pulling out? I don't know if anyone can see that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let me use this share. This one is there. What again do I need? Reply. Let me see if I okay, yeah. Let me say comment. Okay, now this is going to be the icons I'm going to use for this project. So for a bigger project, this is how we're going to go about it. So now this is the icon I'm going to use. Now from the icon, I also need my logo. So I have my logo in two formats. Maybe yeah, I call this my logo. So now this is me creating my atom element that has the basic things I'm going to use. So let's say this is my logo in two formats. It can be the black and maybe an outline version. So I create outline, I just press my Shift X. So I move from that to outline version. So let's say we have an outline version. Please, are you following? It's like I'm just talking to myself. Are you following? Hello, everyone. Are we following? Response, please. Okay, response. Okay, thank you. Okay. And I'm sure I'm not lost here. So now let's just see this is our logo system. This logo system. Now I'm looking at what else I need. Picture frame. Let's say picture frame. I can have my pictures, but that's not so much of what I need. I'm trying to see. Let me see any other basic thing I'm going to. Okay, now let's talk about our forms. So forms. So for forms, these are the things I'm going to be needing. Forms. Now, in forms, so forms is going to hold all my type of forms and everything. So talking about buttons. So let's bring out my buttons. So that's for buttons. What other things do I need here? Let's see if my okay, icons still come here. Social media icons still comes here. So okay, with this, I think I've covered what I'll be needing for this. So let us just from here build up from here and see what comes. So I'm going to need an icon. So this is going to be something I'm going to look out for. Let me make it black. I think I prefer this to be black. This white. This black. Okay, so something like this. I think this forms the structure of what is going to work for. Let's make a comment here. Sorry, this is not perfectly fine, but I think you put this in lower. Okay, let's put it here. Okay, let me put it line of demarcation. Okay, to this point, for me, I'm moving to the key phase of this system building thing. So I want to know if there's any question here so I can move on. So now, any question? Okay, so let me move on. So at this point in time too, this is my basic element. I also see that at this point in time it's necessary for me to create my my visual elements. That's my style guide. So now style guide also, what style guide helps is part of a system. So what style guide helps to do is to retain each of your styles, your text style, your color style. So this I'm basically using just black and white. Just basically using black and white. And that's my color. As long as I'm using a variety of colors, I may split that here where I can explain how you can generate colors, how you generate your primary color, second color, tertiary in the automated way and all, because I just like making things automated. But let's just stick to the basic thing here. Let's just say our style guide. Since in our style guide, we're gonna have our colors, so the elements of designs as you have them here. So we have a color. So I just say for my color, I have my colors are just black and white. Now, something very key here is how you are able to keep all of these things in such a way that they are manageable. So we're going to talk about that in a moment. So your style guide to your typeface. So your typeface, there are different typeface generators, as you all know, quite a number of them. So I have TypeScale. So I'm sure, because there's a whole lot that we won't be able to cover here, but let me just talk about TypeScale in a bit. So TypeScale just helps you to put a good reading to all your documents. So, and there are different skills you can use. All these skills are generated from music. There's something interesting about like this, how different field draw inference from other field. Like what we're talking about in atoms, molecules were drawn from chemistry. In typeface, this was drawn from musical notes and scales and stuff. So that's how we get the TypeScale. But they don't go into so much details about that. So it depends on what you're doing, and this gives you a representation of how those skills are going to. So you first want to choose your base scale. This is 16. Now base scale is most likely going to be your paragraph text. But for this, I think I'm using 12, which is still a bit small. But let me just say my base scale. Let me make it 14. So I'll make my base scale 14. So 14, and you see how the way it scales up. So this is going to be the scale as the difference in height, no, not in height, the difference in size from each of them. So that's the scale I'm choosing. So depending on what I'm doing, if I'm working on article stuff like this, meaning that I'm going to have a very bold text like this, I think I can still work with a skill that gives me, okay, 18. I think I like this skill. This still works. Most of the time I use golden ratio because it gives something a bit quite interesting for me. But I think for this project, this 1.6, so it's clear 1%. Let me just use my major thought. Okay, I think I get to. When I generate this, just gives me a skill that I can work with. So it's now you defining what you want with this skill. So and when you define that, you want to say this is my so you have different skill talking about the H1, H2, those things. So those things just helps you put structure to your page in such a way that H4, H5, then you can do to H6, then you want to do a bit of there's still more defining ways you can create this. I won't have time to explain that, but so that you know what is H6 for. So from H6, you can split that into different things. But let me just stay with this. So I can just say body. So this is my, what size is this? This 9, this 14. Let's see this body, these are captions or captions. Maybe the caption small. So as you can see, I'm not putting so much thought process to this. So what I do is I work with a whole lot in any software I use. I work with a whole lot of plugins to make work easy. Because now I like to also create all these systems so that they are part of my style that I can pick up here and use easily. You see, I have a couple of them here for different projects, and sometimes I like pulling for that. Because of this class, I just want to explain a bit of how to do those things. So I use a style creator. So what it does is that text style. So this automatically generates a style for me. So now, and when you look at, have I done the right thing? Okay, yeah. So if you look here now, it has automatically generated all these styles for me, but not in the way I want, absolutely. But you see, so what happens is it has done this type, I will have to start editing, but there's because of time, I think Figma did something quite interesting the way they put the size here, so you don't get missing. And they've done an update here where you can easily change your type style here. So you can see this is H1, you can see this is H2. But because of time, because I'm running out of time now, so let me just. But at least you get to that part. It's always good automating. So when I have this automated, I have my test style in place. So what this helps me now is to say, I can now come, now if you see here, I didn't give the exact, okay, I'm using Rubik here. So I need to change everything to Rubik. So let me just come here and give this all, let me give them all, I need to break this. Let me just give them Rubik, this is Rubik too. Let's give them Rubik. Let me define a bit of width for maybe the thick ones I'm going to be using. Yes, medium. Okay, let's see. The regular. So not much thought to that. Let me delete all this one I've created, and okay, I like to delete all. We create another one. Even I could still modify them, but that would be quite a number of works. So style, text style, text style. So I know someone may have a better text generator that still keeps. I have quite a number of them, but I can start exploring them now. So now with this, I can say this is my H1. I just hope it's not so big as I want because I'm not taking. So H1, okay, it's quite big. I can come here, I can come and modify that easily just to fit what I want. But since you're going now, this is not too strict. So you can add a bit of modification to them to fit what you actually want. But let me see. And another thing is, if you're not going to work with type scale, okay, let me see if I can do 2 here. I can choose 2 here. Okay, yeah, I think this works for me. So sometimes when you start having a bit of definition to what you want to do, you start making a bit of adjustment. But now I'm making adjustment just to my first prototype, which I can still be a bit flexible with. So I want to modify this a bit. So mind you, I'm not aiming so much at perfection here, but just to give a guide to so now this, then for my body, and I want to just give it the 14. Okay, that didn't go down well. I'm trying to increase the light, my light in there. Okay, I think this looks more like it now. Not perfect, but it still works. So with this, I can define that again and give it, I think I gave it my 14. So I know now, I know all my headers are connected to a tag that I can go change immediately. So let me come to this. Okay, this one is 16, so let me give it like 18, and I can modify this star guide. As I said, is not everything's not written as you can always modify things. So let me give this a bit of bold. Okay, let's say bold. That works. So now I've been able to. So okay, let me put my color string in place. Let me just give this color a bit of cool golden feel so that I can define styles, and also I can come here and so in defining color styles, I'm sure most of you know it's always good to give not just one. You need to expand your color set. So what I do sometimes is just to find just a bit. There are a lot of guides to all this, but let me just do something very easy. So I want to scale. I want to do a gradient fill from year to year, so I don't have to be creating each of the one color. So these two, I will just I'll just blend them. So I have a blending this thing that blends them. So it's gonna ask me how many blend do I want. I think for now, just gonna do 4. Let me see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be 6, right? Let me just do like 3. So let me just do this. So now I've created. I like this funny with this tells me I'm still working. So so I've created a blend for my my color. So for this one, I'm just doing basic color set. So I can, the way again, I can style, create all these things and put all these things as style. So style I apply. So I've applied no local style font. Okay. Okay, I can, let me see color style. So what I'm trying to do is to style these guys. So you should style this guy, general style. I don't know why this automatic style guide. Okay, so these styles have been, okay, so these styles have been created. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so let me just create them manually. I don't know why I'm not getting them to create these styles. So what happens here is actually I'm trying to create my style in such a way that I already have the style created, all styles. So it's fun. I'm not getting the exact plugin I use for creating. Sometimes this, okay, not color scheme. So batch styler. Okay, let me see if this one works for what I'm doing. Okay, so this one, no color. So okay, this one works in just going to edit my style, but let's just leave that for now. But let me try to create them manually. I was trying to save time. Let's see. Let's just see 500. So, and what I do is I just come, we create all these, and I have an automatic styler that does the work, but I don't know why it's not finding it now. So I just want to create basic styles. And why this thing is necessary, you see in a moment why it's necessary to create some of these styles down, so that when you start making changes to our primary component, we are making changes to colors that are connected to the style, that's connected to the molecule, to the template, and all those things. So it makes things more organized. I don't advise this method of style because I can imagine there's a time I was working with about 20 colors. So I just use the batched collectors. What I do is I first auto name the whole stuff so that it can pick the names in a different way. Anyway, you can all explore that. There are different things to explore in every software and all. So down to 100, I think after this, yeah. Okay, now I've done this now, and I've created just the style. I've created my color, I have my typeface. We can create more. We can create patterns under our style guide, a lot of things more. But for this, I think we're fine with this. I think if there's any, okay, now you can create shadows. You can create shadows. So talking about shadow elevation and all for your cards. So if you have anything like that, I don't think this is just a flat thing. So you don't need to get to that. You can create shadows. You can create, and every of your style comes right here. So your text style, your color style, and every style is here. So let's just save this for that. So these are our icons. So now this is the part I just want us to pay attention, because this is going to tie everything I've been doing since morning together. It's going to tie everything together. So now what I'm going to do here is to start creating component systems, start creating variants and stuff like that. And that's where it gets really, really interesting. Okay, so for these guys, Figma have just created a all components where you can create bash components. So you see it right here, where you create multiple components at once. So now, in place of a button, I create a whole component at once. So all these are now components now. You can see they are all components in just a, yeah. So now we get to the point of variance, and well, before we get to variance, I don't know, you may have taken a class on component where you naming of components. So now I'm going to talk a bit about naming of components. So naming of component works this way, where you name component based on several factors, your variance, naming component based on properties and variance and stuff like that. So this is structure it goes in. It goes in structures like what different structure. You can create a structure. Every organization can create the structure that works for them, but it should be in such a way that you know that every icon, every set of things you're using have a name that is easy for you to manipulate. Even before the variance came, we had this structure where you have to put in exclamation mark. So I most likely want to come from the atom. So I'm asking, where is this icon coming from? What is this? So it's called an icon. From the icon, what kind of icon is it? I want to put what is the actual name of the icon. I will now want to put other things like if he has a subcategory. So this is the part where naming structure comes in place, and this can require a bit of planning on which one works for the company. Some people use name structures that have underscore with different things. So it's just you to know which one works for you, but it has to be in such a way that you accommodate for everything you are working. You want to accommodate for the atoms, the name, the state. Sometimes you want to accommodate for the state. You want to accommodate for. I'm looking at properties that might be necessary. You want to accommodate for the. Sometimes you want to accommodate for the size. You know, we have different icon size. We have 24 pixel, 16 pixel. But we want to make it as simple as maybe just the platform. So you want to say for mobile and stuff like that. Depending, so that's why we talked about the part of planning. And the part of planning comes to play knowing that where is this icon set or anything going to be used. So let me save time since we already have what we call Figma already does that in a couple of videos, but it's good to know how this thing works. Because of time, I won't be able to, because component system and variance is a whole broad game on its own. So I don't want to take that on that level. Let me just go on a skill level now and move on to what I guess we all know. So I mean, just dwell on this a little bit more because it's going to form every structure of everything we're doing. So there's something called variance. So variance means when I have a component, I have an component, I have a component, they can all come together to form what we call a variance. So what variance does is that for every component, you always need a variance of them. That means different varieties. That's what we call the name variance come from. So let me just pull up, because of time, let me pull up examples of variance I've used in a project so that I can use to explain this, because I will not be able to dwell so much on them here. So let me just check this very busy project, just a minute. So let's check on this project. So we look at this now. Hello everyone, hope I'm not too fast. Yeah, I just want you to understand how this works. So now these are variance sets. So variance set means different, like now for buttons. I'll show you how we create this. So you see this for icons, for buttons. So this shows that I'm going to be creating, I need one for desktop, I need one for mobile, or different sizes. From different sizes, I move on to different other properties that I want to mention. Sometimes you want one with icon, one without icon. So all those variants, you should be able to manage them within a set of component system. So that's how that works. So that when you get to, now let's look at this, the use here. I may want to change this from large to medium in a very easy way. And just by switching between your different variances. But I'm going to give you a system that you can use in building variances. So that's what I'm talking about here. So, and these are variance system work. You see, this is, this for mobile, this for desktop. So, but still the same, because now variants are things that have the same relationship in terms of their atom elements, their molecular elements, but you just want to change them in form of structure. You're looking at this menu bar now. So in this menu bar, let's see where it works here. So when we look at this menu bar here, you see this is for the desktop, because this is desktop. But by the time you change it to mobile, so what happens? A different ball game here. It takes out something, it brings some things back, and also it works in that kind of structure. So that's what we're going to create in a couple of, okay, like this a variance now. You want to tell things are checked. So I come here, you see your different, so first I've chosen which one for mobile. So you want to choose either it's for the active competitions. So different things. So I can just want to create a variance of one that is checked, one that is not checked. So let's just go back to where we're coming from, and let's see one that we can use. So our button, so I've created variance for, oh, I've not done that. So let me do combine variance. So I've done a variance for this. For logo, okay, we created a logo, I deleted them mistakenly. So let me just create logo. So now this logo has a variance, right? Because you see that it has one that is black and one that is outlined. So first I create them as component system. That's very key. So I go on multiple component systems. So you have them as multiple component system. So they can become a variance. So now let me now talk about the variance now, where in the naming and all. So I talked about a naming structure that covers them, which is you want to write their atoms, most likely where they are coming from, their name, the name of the icon, the state, and talk about different properties. So it depends on how you want to create the structure. So there's also something you can always look at, which is the matrix structure. So the matrix structure works like this, where now I'm going to use it in an example, which will be very important. So let's use it for the button. So I'll use the matrix structure for the button. Let's hope I'm not too fast. I wish. Oh, okay. My time is running fast, but I have to just wrap this and can call it. So let's look at the button. In the button, we have different state of button. So I may want to have different size of the button. Remember? So now let me take this to my matrix so that I can show you an example what I'm talking about. So matrix is always what you want to, what are the varieties of states we're going to have with one option. So varieties, I can say, I want to talk about, I want to plot, don't let me use plot, I want to align size to state. So let's say size to state. And I'll tell you why this is very important. So I want to say this is my large, medium, medium. I'm getting the bell. Is it a bell for me? Small. Okay, so and you want to plot this against something. Why? So that sometimes when you're creating company, you almost forget about the fact that you have not created something for the other one. Or let me explain. So large, you want to have large buttons, medium button, and small button. And you want to make sure all of them have these properties. And the property, oh, 1 o'clock. So so it's 1 o'clock here. So you want to plot them against maybe state. I want to say over state. This is an over state. So we are plotting, this is how it works. You're plotting something over the other one. So we can plot size. We can choose to plot size over state. We can choose to plot size over state. So I don't know if you get that. You can choose to plot size over state. So what happens at this point is, every state you want this component system to have, you list them here. Every size you want to, this one matrix method that's very important in your planning of your component system and all. You are saying this, that, okay, now I have this state over this state. So I'll do this for example for button. So now I want to have large, medium, and small. So now these are going to be small. Let's say for small, we're going to have height of, let's say 25. An example. Okay, this is okay. I've not even created them as. So let's just give an example now. This is just example. Let's make this 35, then make that 40. So what happens is that at this point, you want large to also have overstate. So you want to say in my overstate, I won't do everything because it's going to be a lot of time, but this is how it works. And you see me do that in variance more. So I want to put all these things here and see what's going to be the difference in this. So I want to say in my overstate, I want them to have this. Now you now see where your color style comes in. I want them to have this state when I over, when is on, over active, let me say inactive. Let's just say inactive. Yeah. So over active, so it's active here. If it's inactive, I want it to take, maybe I go to my style, I want it to maybe this color, or maybe the text should go this way. Let me, the text should carry this. Okay, something like this. So you get, now using my matrix, I'm sure that I'm going to have every of these states when I need them. Now, sometimes you're creating components, you don't know if you have created a component for one or one. So now using this now to name this, you see that you have something like this guy is going to be a button, right? That has that is large, right? And okay, now this one is your this most likely going to be your master. You call it master. This can be your, this most likely going to be your master or your normal state. Your normal state. So for this one, so I have the button definition. So I can make this a definition of this, and the state, I can say this is large. Okay, I've said that's large. This is master. That's for this. For this. This is naming structure if you're not using component, if you're not using variance, but I will explain in a bit how the variance thing works. Okay, sorry, that's okay. So you see that by the time it's getting to this, what is going to change? You have this as over, you have this as so let me make this normal so that they're all this normal. So you see this will be normal. This will move from over, this should change to what? Active. And when you go down here, this one will be medium, right? Then this will be over. This one will be medium. So with this matrix, you can get the essence of what I'm talking about. You have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 component system from here, and they all have different name, all tied to the atom element, which is the button. I don't know if you get that. So let me not create them easily here with component system. And before talking about component system, there's something which I know a couple of you may know, which is the auto element. I most likely don't do anything without consulting auto element. But now let's say something. Let's say that now we've created all this and I need buttons with icons. No, that's one option. That's one option. I can say I want buttons with icon. So I don't have enough time to cover all those things, but let's see how that goes. So let me just create first my auto element. I like working with auto element a lot because it just makes things more organized, and you can define a bit more things. So with auto element, I can define. I'm sure a lot of you should have become familiar with auto element, where you can define quite a number of properties right there. So, but let me come down here. So now the same thing I did there, I want to do with my variance in a very easy way, and you see how that works. I will need you all to pay attention at this point. Okay. So, okay. So I want to have all this centered. So I'm going to explain something here that is very key, which is going to really be important for this class. Okay. So this works now. I have this box. So this, I don't want to fix my elements. Let me just see. I want I want this to be, I want to height to be, no, I don't want element, perfect. So from here I go to, so I can have this at my 35 and to replicate what that system I did right there. So from this I want to have 25 and oh. So on the norm, I've created what I call my button in my typeface too. I also need that, but let me just work with this. So I make all these things components. I make all these things components by creating multiple components. So this are all the components created. So I can now start with my variance. So now I combine them as variance. So that's done. Now in variance, that's where it becomes interesting. And what makes it interesting, this same thing I showed you here, let me bring them closer so that I can use that to explain what I'm talking about. So now this is first normal. So this is normal. Now you see in variance, it asks you some few questions, which is properties. So now properties are, what are the things that are guiding this? So I want to talk about, first I want to talk about my states. So I can say size. I can say size here. In size, I'm talking about, so when I say size, I want to start defining what size is here. So here I can see this is going to be large, right? This is going to be medium, right? Medium. This is going to be small. Yeah, just the way I defined them here. Can you see? Large, medium, small, and they're under the size. So now I cannot come here again and see all these. I go on my variant, I can add another new property for variance. But let me add new property. So in new property, I want to also talk about state. So in state, what are the states I'm looking out for? I'm setting this under a state I call, first on the right, my normal state. Normal, new normal. So normal, I can do this, I can duplicate this now, just the way I did here. Create another state I call the overall state. I'll duplicate again. So in the overall state, I can now put my color that I intend to apply. Then from here, I come here and I have my active. So like active state. So active state, change my color to what I wanted to show that is active thereabout. Then okay, I think I need to run this up. So now inactive state. So inactive state, I see inactive. So understanding how this works manually helps you when you get to your variance, and this is the system it uses so that you can have everything all figured out. So now you see what I have here. I have inactive. I have all this now. So everything now, see this one. You see when I click on them, they all have their different states now based on this. Now we have the size. We have large, medium, small state. We have normal, over state. So meaning that when I pick one, when I come to my asset and I see buttons, okay, I don't need, sorry. Okay, sorry, I don't need this component. So when I come essential buttons, so coming to my asset now and bringing up my buttons, and you see with this now I can switch between each of my states, and it makes work quite easy this way. So back to state, back to my button form. So let's just do this very fast. This one I'll be talking about, which is going to be the last one. Then we'll put everything to work. So let's talk about text field. So now, so if there's a challenge here, which you may not notice, which is the fact that variance is a cool way to work. That's its challenges, and the challenge. Am I the only one that thinks Charles is not enough for this class? Okay, someone is asking that question. Same here too. I feel there's a whole of little section that comes together to make all this, but let me see what I can do, because I need to just start slotting all these things so I will start seeing everything work and play. Sorry, as my system frozen. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So why is that? My system is not tracking. Hello. Sorry, hello, are you there? Hello. Okay, so let me go to my form. So now this form part, so now I start applying all my elements the way I have been. So my outline, I have this. So now I've put that together. I want to make them first. I like working with auto layout. Auto layout gives me the flexibility I want. So with auto layout, I have things more structured here. So I have my form. Now I can structure my form how I want it. Now I remember something which is sometimes you need the one with comments. So I'll talk about variance here, and you see how it really plays out here. So let me make this a bit. I just see this is the title. This is the comment, and for validation button in your KYC, you need one that has different things, maybe hide, view, a lot of things here. So it's quite a number of details I cannot go into now, but let me just do this and have that done. Okay, so let's do this. I convert this back to my auto layout, and so now I can have different options of this now. I want to have, now you see where variance come to play now. I create this as my component, create a variance system, and now the journey begins. So I want one that has title, one that does not have title. I want one that is active. So now I'm not planning this, but it's necessary I also plan the way I plan this, which is I want to first create which one is my base element, then I want to create what are their variances. So now my base element is that I want to create ones that are sorry, things are a bit getting messy, but I always tidy things up in this time. So now I want to create one that has title. I want to create one that does not have a title. I want to create one that, now let me now add one more thing here, which is I want to create one that has maybe a button inside. Yeah, a button inside too. Let's just do that. So now I can start bringing things now. Now that I already have a button, I don't have to start creating button again. I can now bring my button system I've created here and just insert here. So and start building things up from there. So now here I can see, no, what I want here is I can now start changing state that I need here. So I think I need my medium state here. So let me just tidy things up. So if you have a good knowledge of this guy, you know the spacing between all these things, you know how they work. And so this is space and okay. Okay, so they're apart now, and I can have that. So there's quite a number of things I may want to do. I may want to do the field we post, the one that has a long, this one has a long, okay, this guy should expand as I stretch. So this is a couple of, this is a couple of variants that I'm looking at that I can work with. So now I want to do one that has title, but now there are also variances I want to create for them, which is first one that okay, this company. So this I'm going to create in that set of. I've not converted them to companies. Sorry, I need to first convert this guys. Okay, component. Okay, the properties. So the properties I have here is, let me just see this one. Okay, I think this is component. Okay, so I can, okay, so let me see. This can also be properties I'm looking at, maybe state. There's one state here. And my state can boil down to just I can just boil this mixed state. So I can boil this down to normal. I can boil that. I can go to active state. So active state, what I want to do is just to make the comment section now feels like I'm typing already. So I'll come here and add a deeper stuff. So let me just make those basic ones. And so that's fine. So now I've created this, I've created this, I've created this. So this is still my atom element, which I've created. I've created logo, I've created icons. So I can start moving on to my creating a bit of structure to my site from here. Sorry. So have I used icon anywhere? So I can also bring icon, but I have not used icon anywhere yet. So let me just put everything together so that we know we are done with this page. So one thing for this page, I will start bringing my things I've already created here, which will be necessary now. So let me get this part done. So logo. So let me just leave naming now because I've just loved to name everything I have here, so I can call them when I need. So now let me replicate this now, and you see I will replicate in such a way that I can start having all I want. So now I can from here build another set of things, which is the molecule system where I'm bringing things together. So let me start with my header. So header frame, get what I want, make it white, and bring my logo. Now, don't forget I've created everything I wanted, so I don't have to start. I just need to drag from here, or I come here, my asset, I call my logo. So I drag, click. So now I'm doing more click and drag, icon. If I did my naming well, that's why naming is very important. So if I did my naming well, which funny enough I didn't, so I can start writing maybe hamburger, this hamburger. So I can call it hamburger, this is for my social share, this for response share. I can start putting on those comments. So now I just come, type, they all come out. This is an hamburger. So I click and drag. So now with this one, so I click and drag. I like to create things that auto layout. So I center all my things in such a way. So, and I want them spread. So I think this is, so now talking about responsiveness, part, I want this to be spaced so that I can have a bit of responsive. So now this is responsive. And variance, let me just create a bit of variance for these guys so that we can see it play. So this one, let me just create a bit of variance here, which is based on overstate and stuff like that. So property, so that'll be, yeah. Okay, so I think I messed things up a bit. So let me just say variance state. I want to create my another property. So first property we have, I just say this property is a property of state. So trying to deal with their states. So I'll copy all this now and Zaximi. So I'll say this is my active. And I can duplicate this and say this is my let's say overstate. So in overstate, I bring now, you see everything are all connecting now. You can come here, I can see when you over, this is my overstate, they dim a bit. When it's on its active state, they have their color. So I bring the color also from the color set I've created. Sorry, okay, color set I've created 500. So now all this already carries everything I've put here. So if I come to Bliss now and say, Bliss, I want to change your color a bit. So let me give you the color I already have. So everything is taking that form now. So I can start creating another page that is a bit more like what I want. So now I can put the header in place. Now I have to create this as also a component, don't forget. So put this in form of component, and this is going to be my header component. It depends on how you want to structure things, but let me just go on for now. header. So this header, and come here and putting this together as my header. Don't forget it's responsive, so I don't have any problem about how it is. So this is responsive. I can choose to, so there's now, if I didn't put any outline, I can choose to see. I think I need to introduce my effects, which is maybe overstate. But for now, I've created some few overstate. Let me just put overboard, which is going to create is not working. Sorry, okay, I didn't apply that. Okay, so I've created an overstate. See, it's applied, but it's not as interesting as I want at the moment. So let me just, now this is our picture frame. So picture frame, we can have a set of picture frame too in our definition, maybe a picture frame with sizes, so that we can just create them as component and maybe have some unique thing to them. But that depends on how you plan yours and stuff like that. But let's just for now have this. So now, since we've ready our text, now we can create a structure for our content, So I can bring these two up. First, remember they are already component systems now. So I can create a structure for them because I want everyone that takes all these components, use them the way I want them to be used. So I can create the structure for my component, for my content. So in this case, I create my auto layout. I like putting things in auto layout. I think if you don't have much about Implementer, you need to learn very well about it. So that now with this auto layout, it makes things quite easy. So I can say, I can put this as a component already. So make it a component, and this is going to be, now I can structure this and say, let me put a frame here that I just want all my component system to have. Okay, yeah, I want to put, let me see, I want to put all my content layout. So this can be for content layout. This can be for content layout, where you have everything you want about content. So I can have variance here. You see everything playing out. So I can have for this and this. So this for, let's just say main content. Okay. So now this is a component. This will become interesting when I start creating several sticks of this. So let's see, main content, and so that's that. So I can have I can also create for this guy too, make it a component. So I'll just use shortcut for time's sake. So I expand the scale to scaled. So this is also in such a way that they are responsive. Create a component for it, say my pull code. This might be my code. So I've done that. So I can call this now when I need it in my code. So it's easier to pull these things out, and they're all fine. So I can also create, now it just depends on how the structure goes. Now, if you go to some site where you can actually design them yourself, these are kind of the structure they use, where they have a template. Like if you know Webflow, if you use Webflow, you see this kind of thing there. Pull up a Webflow. Okay. Let me just pull up a Webflow project. So let's pull up a Webflow project and see how things like this work. So when we go to, sorry, I'm diversing a bit, just you see this kind of system when you go to, look at this. Look at typography. You see typography, you see header and this, you see paragraph, you see link, you see quotes, you see. So those structures are already in place. By the time you come and drag those things, they just take that shape. So you be the one to fill in what you want. So that's why these things are all connected from every software downward. So now we already have this, we have this. So I like to do something which is also I can still come here and create a structure for this too. And say I still want to have a structure for this, which means
this guy, I'm going to make a component so that I don't need to start. I don't want anyone to more like disrupt how this works. I can see it and create a structure for this which holds them together. It depends, but for time's sake, let's just stick to this layout. So, and okay, now see this. I can come here and choose the component system I call paragraph. Just open paragraph. I'll tell you why, because I see that I need, sometimes you just need just paragraph. Sometimes you want to pull out one code header and all. So now this is it. I think I've been able to create a structure here. And so now let me just do this last one where I'm wrapping up with, and let's do this. This I give it its own structure too. I think I can do 18. This one can be 18. This one. Okay. This. So this. I also. This is not a lot of things. Okay. Now this. Let me just create the structure for you that allows it. So I can have a structure for my avatar too. Maybe an element, an atom element. I call my avatar. If there's any unique thing I need to do with it, it just depends on what you want. So let's say I've created this, I want to add this to it too, and stuff like that. Okay. So, okay, I think now we have this in company. Let's just call this our main writer. Just call this main writer. So now I can put this here as a main writer. So now so now I have to do this section for my comments. So you ask yourself, what do I need? I need I'll need that kind of structure. Oh, sorry, this is also okay. So I need that kind of structure too for this. I don't have that time. Let me just do something very quickly here. So I've done something quick. I've not made. Okay, now what I'm supposed to do now is to pull up all my everything I've created. Okay, I think I have to do that. I have to pull up everything I've created. Let me do this and pull up everything I've created. I've created title. So I bring my title here. I create title. I've created comments and just pull my comment. So this is not the appropriate way to be pulling content, but I do that very fast so that I don't have to start coming to comments and writing forms and typing, pulling some things up. But if I do that, that's the appropriate way to go about it. Pull from your assets, but because of time, I just have to rush some few things. So now, if I duplicate this now, see what happens here. Because they are variants, I can say now I've created this, but I don't want exactly this. I want a different, my active or my inactive or my normal. I can say something is not tying together. Okay. I think this is a variance I need. So I can also pull this guy. Yeah. Okay, so this makes up for my comment section. Okay, for my comment section. And okay, footer section. Let me just do that quickly so that my footer section. So this is a combination of you look at the atoms that bring this together, their basic things, not so much of just. So if these are icons and I have my icons, I just need to pull them from my basic thing, but I think I can still ignore that. So this is now all components systems. So let us put this to work. It's not perfect, but it's something we can work with. Let's see how this works. First, I always advise people you work with what we call layout, your layout system. So I'll tell you what your layout is, your auto layout. So your auto layout actually helps you organize things in a more decent way. So let me just do a bit of auto layout here. So I'm out of time. Okay. It's layout. It's layout. Then center on my layout. So this is where it gets interesting, where you can move things around, add content, and all of them stays together. So okay. Okay, sure. To see their spacing, order. I think I've missed out something in this. There is no inside. Okay. So let me just sort that out. You see, there's some other things I've not spoken about, which is also part of your starter, which is spacing, defining your spacing. You can use material design spacing, 8-bit, 8-bit, and all. That's still some things I just have to rush over for now. So we have this now, and we'll see how. So all of them altogether, you see how this works and you see everything are all tied to a system. So if I have to make a change, so let's assume we have all these components and we give this template as for anyone that's going to design anything that deals with this guy. So when it takes this, I can say now, let's now pull up all our unsplash comes. I change my, maybe this another layout I want to do for a different page. I come here, I choose the page I want to use. Choose the image I want to use. The image is applied. I choose factory. So I start, see things start, factory workers to pay. So you see my page is coming alive now. I come to my lorem. So I look for the text I want to use, lorem. So I say what sentence I need. I need about, let me see, paragraph. I need about 3 paragraphs here. Generate. You see, everything is already responding to what I want. But if you see, I've not defined something, so I've not defined my paragraph or something. So it's still a bit messy, but let's go to that. Let's put a bit of quote here. So go to my lorem again. To my lorem is still there. Lorem. So the rhymes I put just sentence, just about 2 is it lines. Okay, sentence. I put about 3 sentences generate. Oh, I think this is something is missing here. This also respond to, okay. So now this way things I can go and check what is going on. So I see that the guy is not responding. So most likely this guy is not logging my content. Let me see. So I need to configure what happened. Good. Because I've missed out something when working here. Okay. They're not all auto layout. Okay, yeah. So it's auto layout now, but I need to do some other things to flip this guy. So I have to do vertical, then to do adjusting some elements. So everything I've done here now, watch out, it affects everything. That's it. So now this should be fine. But one more thing, this content. So this is the layout. Then I need to all content. Okay. So I guess I fixed the issue now. So it can respond. So when I have anything, so it can respond to what I want. But I still need a bit of space around there. So that would deal with my that would be about my auto layout spacing that I can put. So there can be a structure to that too. There should also be a structure to that too. So that is that. So now things are taking more shape. I get here, so I can get here and say, okay, I need a different content. I put that and say, okay, yeah, I want to do some things that, okay, let's talk about a bit about this guy. Okay, this active form. In my form, I think I'm missing something in my form. Let's just remove this. My form, I was expecting more states. I think I've missed something. When doing that. So I just want to do a bit of change of state. But if you look at this, these are going to do a bit of justice to what works. But when I was taking into consideration, I didn't take into consideration my desktop fully. But this can still work a bit in my desktop because they be responsive. I was taking into consideration responsiveness while working, but it's still a bit of thing I need to fix with that. But if you see this, this become responsive. Now, where it becomes interesting is when we want to make changes now. So this interesting part. Now, maybe you present this to a board or to your head and it's like, no, I don't want the font, I don't want this. But obviously that should be based on the system that the brand system. So it's not just about change from. But if it says anything that you don't want, it's easier for you to come to the style. I can come to my style now and change my font. I can come to this. If you say, oh, I don't want this kind of quote, I don't. So you don't have to. So now, if I have about this is where the examples I give. This is where the examples become interesting. So you have about um, pages of all this now. So you see some. I want to just create a bit of random, something like randomity. No, okay, randomness. Yeah. So let's just pull this up. So you see things are getting a bit of. Let's say no. I want a bit of quotes before the actual thing here. Do you see? So with just one with just my element being in place, I'm going to create varieties. Now, we don't like this side, what do you call it, right-hand side paragraph, and we want it to be justified. So what do I have to do? I just need to come here to, this feels like a control system we're using managing. Just imagine in a theater and that person at the backstage that controls the lights, the door, the lights, the sound, the window opening, the curtain opening, and everything. It's just like that. Just go to your back end and can go figure this out. I just come here and put everything as this, and guess what? Everything turns that way all at once in a jiffy. That's something about component system and controlling them from important. So this one too, we don't want this type of coating. We want the coating to have a bit of color or let it be grayed out. I come here and I say grayed out. Where are we graying this one? So is it okay like this? Let's go check. So it has been grayed out everywhere. Can we make it a bit bigger? This is when I like doing the hard work so that when our clients can be sometimes, and as sometimes you get a lot of revert. So you just know that changing everything in just one system. You make people as well, you have to change everything in years, but because you've created your system down, you can all control them at a jiffy. It's a pity I'm not able to make, let me see if I can do that. I just want to be able to do a bit on, okay, let's pull this guy. Yeah, why is it not giving me a chance? Okay. Okay, I think it works now. So I want to do one last thing, and that will be where I'll wrap this up. Is this actually out? Okay, actually out now. Okay, yeah, fine. This is what I want to do. So now I want to put a reply section here. Fix this scan. So that's span to between and span to. I'll just give you a bit of size here. So this show of the text. So I've messed things up a bit here, but let me just see how soon I can fix that. So, so everything I'm doing here is being reflected. So I'm still making it. So but let's just manage this. What I'll do is, so when you come here, everything I've done, you see they've adjusted, and you see everything has affected every page. So you just imagine 100 pages of this. I like giving a large example so you see how things are speedy. Just imagine 100 pages of this. So if you see the post is still looking a bit not put in place, I can just come here and fix that. So I just want to look at what engineering fault is happening here. Okay, let's see, centered. So this centered, this is centered. I go here, everything is centered, and let's see right here too. I can still make some changes. I can see. Let me see. Here, I want to put a bit of comment, and let's just start comment. You see, it's not responding, so it shows that my component. I need to come to the major component and figure out why that guy is not responding. Okay, I feel the all content, this is fixed. So I need to all content and let's see that fixed that. So okay, that didn't fix that. I need to do a bit more. But if you see, I can come here, come to my button, say, okay, yeah, I want it to be active state, so I change to active state. I can start making those variant touches in all of this. So, but everything that is controlling it now, you see, I'm controlling everything here from this point. So I'm going to keep this and share the links if you can all, so that you can all have access to this to play around and test and try out what we've done. So this is the system I've created now to um, work on my elements here. Okay, interesting. So now, so let's break it down a bit. So we have the atoms, we have the molecules, we have the organism, how everything come together and how they form templates. So template are what we have here, where you can start having the web pages where you can start modifying and making changes. So I can make 100 pages of this, and everything will have something unique about it. Let me just do a bit of touch to this so that everything feels all unique. I think I can do content here, content tree. Okay, so just say splash. So just a bit of randomness to it here. So that's a let's say random. Okay, so this how things turns out in a short time when you use your component system, and I can put a bit of you can get to how this is going to be a bit responsive. And also, let me just wrap up. So we've not, it's a lot. We didn't really touch adopting. So adopting is when you take an already made system. So adopting is when you understand how the system works. So you can take an already made system like material design and adopt it to your components or a project you're working on. So that's you going from the master component and touching the things you need to touch, so that it fits. So you can put in your own style. So what you need to start from is for you to get to the style guide, which the already made system. So let me just touch on that just a bit. So let's say let's go to so let's go to this we call the community. This community is very, very powerful. I use it a lot. So community, you see different kits, you see them different kits, different style guide. So material icons, I jump in a lot of things like this. So let's just do this button variant. You see 960 button variant. Let's duplicate this and see how this works. So now understanding how it works, just imagine all the button variants here. Sometimes all of them are not necessary, are not needed, but you see how you can modify this. Maybe you just need a part of it. You can pick from this, and now you can tell how this person was able to get all these variants. So the variants are multiple because you see one with buttons, one without button, but it's still the same structure, which I've showed you that they use in building all this. So a whole lot of things to get from your community where you can adjust, take systems you can take that you can adjust. Just look out for the master component. Don't go touching each of them. Look at the master components, what you can adjust. Change the color here and there. This one library that you can see, you touch it. But I like going for component system that has master components that I can make few adjustments and I'm done. So that's one way of okay, sorry, I don't know. That's one way of okay. So that's one way of making full adjustments in terms of adopting a frame. So we worked on building, and we did a touch on planning. We spoke about this, spoke about how this works, and how all this comes together from atom to molecule to templates to pages that you come to see. So I think that's basically how we run our from our atoms to atomic design. So just to brief on everything, we'll talk about atoms are the base unit of the web page, and you saw how we move from atomic designs to this. So creating a system is what we didn't really touch on fully, but systems are the things we created that we use in forming our complex O. So those things come down from spacing to how should you position these in this element and stuff like that. So there we move to adopting, building, planning. So that's basically what I can say. Thank you very much. I know it's been a whole lot of things we've spoken about, and I wish we had more time to do more specific touch on or talk a little bit about all the specific things I've spoken about. I know it's a whole lot of things I've brought together speaking about this. You can't talk about atomic system and not talk about how you create them, talking about component system and the structures and a whole lot of things. I hope with this class, I'm going to share that page, make that page available for everyone where you can have access to that page. And I think I'm going to push that to the community and share the link so everyone can duplicate it and try out what we've tested in class. And if there's any question or anything, you can always reach out to your tutors or anyone that can help out. And if I don't know if there's any system that is put up for that. But that's everything that I was able to cover within this short time. I hope you're able to learn something, at least you're able to pick something that you can use for your next project, and also majorly help your company in creating a system. And overall, I need to point out this, that creating a system and planning a system for organization, you need to work closely with your developer, because this is what your developer also need to also create their own what you call component system, where when you're making your changes easily, your developer is also doing that easily too. So it's a joint work when you're doing it on a company level. It's really joint work. And Figma even did at a point in time where, because if you don't do that, you just notice that every of your component system are not accurate. Either the text is bigger here, is smaller here, or so for you to create that comprehensive thing, working with atomic design, is the way to go. Thank you very much, and God bless. So that's my handle, Obadina, at every Twitter, Facebook, any social media. You always find me as Obadina. So I think I can call it a day. I don't know if there's any. Yeah. Oh, question. I don't know if there's any question, but let me know if there's still time to take any question. Yeah. Done.
Hi, Samuel. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the session, and I'm sure every other person will enjoy the session. So, hi guys. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute your mic and speak. So Samuel will be able to help. Okay, it seems like nobody has questions for Samuel. All right, Samuel, thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining the session. So do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.